Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today with a message that I believe will resonate deeply within the core of your spirit, one that has the potential to transform the way you view time, purpose, and destiny. So many of us at some point or another have felt the sting of delay. We've experienced moments where our dreams seem too far out of reach, where the things we prayed for appeared to come too slowly, or even felt as if they might never come at all. But let me share something powerful with you today. What you thought was a delay, what you believed was an interruption in your life's journey, was in fact a divine preparation for the very moment you are about to step into. There are times when we look at our lives and we question the timing of everything. We wonder why things didn't unfold the way we imagined, or why success did not come at the expected moment. There's an innate desire within each of us to control time, to hasten our growth, to push forward faster, because we feel that the faster we move, the quicker we can achieve. But you see, when you understand that your life is not governed by time alone, but by purpose, you begin to realize that delays are not your enemy. They are actually your friend. They are the vehicles through which your character is shaped, your strength is built, and your heart is prepared for the greatness that lies ahead. God is not bound by time as we are. He operates outside the constraints of the clock. What we call delay, he calls preparation. In his eyes, you are never behind schedule. His timing is impeccable, and his plans for your life are perfect. You might be looking at your life and wondering why you haven't reached the peak of your dreams, why you're still in the process, why it seems that others are moving ahead of you. But let me assure you, your moment is coming. And in the meantime, God is positioning you. He is refining you. He is developing in you the qualities you will need for that moment to sustain you when you finally arrive at the place of fulfillment. Think about the great leaders and trailblazers throughout history. They did not achieve success overnight. There were years, sometimes decades of preparation. Even in the silence, in the waiting, they were being formed and shaped into the leaders they would become. Their journey was not just about reaching the destination, but about being made ready for what was to come. The trials, the delays, the detours were not a sign of failure. They were the means through which they were being equipped to handle the magnitude of their purpose. Now let's take a moment to reflect on your own life. How many of you have been waiting for something for what seems like an eternity? You've prayed, you've worked hard, you've put in the effort, but the results seem to be slow in coming. But what if I told you that this time of waiting is not wasted time? What if the very thing you are waiting for has not come yet, because God is preparing you to handle it with grace, wisdom, and strength? You see, success that comes prematurely is a dangerous thing. It can overwhelm you. It can break you. It can cause you to collapse under the weight of responsibility. That's why God allows the preparation time. That's why he sometimes slows the process, so you can grow in character and integrity. He is teaching you to be resilient. He is teaching you to trust him in the midst of uncertainty. He is teaching you to learn how to rise after every setback, how to stand strong after every disappointment. I want you to think of your current situation as the soil that is nurturing the seed of your purpose. Every moment of waiting, every challenge you face is like a gardener tending to that seed, making sure it gets the nutrients it needs to grow into a mighty tree. In the moments of waiting, the invisible work is being done. The roots are growing deeper and the branches are stretching higher. You might not see it now, but when the time comes, you will stand tall, stronger and more prepared to take on the responsibilities and the blessings that God has for you. Perhaps you've been through a season of hardship, Perhaps you've endured loss, disappointment, or rejection. You might even be wondering why you have had to go through so much, why the road has seemed so difficult. I want you to know that nothing is wasted in God's economy. Every trial, every challenge, every moment of waiting is part of the grand design that is unfolding in your life. God is building in you the resilience and the wisdom you will need to stand firm when you step into your purpose. There's an old saying, the greater the obstacle, the greater the reward. This means that the difficulties you are facing now are not meant to break you, but to prepare you for a greater level of achievement. You are not being delayed, you are being prepared. The things you have endured will become the foundation upon which you will stand when you step into the fullness of your purpose. Every tear, every disappointment, every setback has been a tool in God's hands, refining you into the person you are destined to become. In this very moment, you may not understand why things are taking so long or why you've had to face certain challenges, but trust me when I tell you, your moment is coming. And when it does, you will look back at every single delay, every setback, and every trial, and you will realize that those moments were the very things that made you ready for what lies ahead. God is not in the business of wasting time. Every moment has a purpose. Every season has significance. And though you may have felt that you were delayed, you were not. You were being prepared for this moment, for the opportunity that is about to open up before you. You were being molded into the person who can handle what God has planned for your life. And when your moment arrives, you will be equipped, strong, and more than ready to take hold of the destiny that has always been yours. So today I encourage you to shift your perspective. Stop seeing the delays as obstacles and start seeing them as preparations. Trust that God's timing is perfect and that everything you've gone through has been leading you to this moment. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where you need to be, and your moment is on the horizon. Stay faithful, stay patient, and know that the best is yet to come. Thank you. Delays are often perceived as obstacles, hindrances that prevent us from achieving our goals and reaching our destination. In a world where everything moves at a rapid pace, it is easy to become frustrated when things don't unfold as quickly as we expect. However, this perception of delay is often rooted in a limited understanding of time and purpose. In reality, delays are not the barriers they may seem. They are often divine preparations for something greater that lies ahead. When you experience what feels like a delay, it is crucial to shift your perspective. What you might see as a setback is in fact God's way of preparing you for the next phase of your life. Every moment of waiting, every instance where things don't go as planned is a necessary part of the process. These delays are not a sign that something is wrong, nor are they an indication that you are being denied what you desire. Instead, they are the shaping and molding moments that are equipping you for the purpose you are meant to fulfill. God's ways are not our ways. His timing operates on a higher plane, beyond the constraints of our understanding. While we are focused on the immediate, God is focused on the long-term outcome. He sees the bigger picture, the one we cannot yet comprehend. So when things don't happen in the way we expect, it is often because He is aligning circumstances, opening doors, and positioning us in ways that we cannot yet see. These moments of delay are part of the preparation process that ensures we are ready when the time comes for us to step into the fullness of our purpose. Consider this, if everything we desired came to us immediately, we would not be able to handle the responsibility or the blessing that comes with it. Growth, wisdom, and strength come from the journey, not from an instantaneous arrival at our destination. Delays allow us to develop the resilience, patience, and maturity needed to sustain the success that is waiting for us. They are not interruptions to our plans, but integral parts of God's divine plan for our life. God's timing is perfect, and you are never behind schedule. In a world that constantly pressures us to keep up with a fast-moving pace, it is easy to believe that we are falling behind, especially when things don't happen according to our desired timeline. We often measure success by the speed at which we achieve our goals, comparing ourselves to others who seem to be moving forward while we remain in a holding pattern. However, this rush is based on a shallow understanding of purpose and destiny. What we must realize is that God's plan for our lives is far greater than any human timetable or expectation. When we place our trust in God, we must also trust His timing. He is never late and He is never early. He is always on time. The delays we face are not signs of failure or missed opportunities. They are part of a much bigger plan that only He can see fully. God understands exactly what we need and when we need it. He knows that the right moment to fulfill our purpose is not necessarily the moment we think it should be, but rather when we are truly prepared to handle what He has in store for us. We must learn to rest in the knowledge that God's schedule is far more reliable than ours. What may seem like a delay in our lives is in fact the perfect timing for God's plan to unfold. We might want things now, but He knows the precise moment when everything will come together. He's not working on our time, but on a divine, eternal timetable that encompasses not just our lives, but the lives of everyone around us. This means that sometimes the delay is necessary not only for us to grow, but also for the circumstances to align in a way that allows us to fully embrace the opportunity He is preparing for us. God's timing also reflects His love and care for us. When we trust that He is orchestrating every detail of our lives, we can let go of the anxiety that comes from feeling like we're falling behind. Our lives are not accidents. Every season, every moment, and every delay serves a purpose, and in His time we will see the fulfillment of that purpose. Therefore, we are never truly behind. We are exactly where we need to be at any given moment, under His watchful eye and perfect plan. Growth and development happen in the waiting period. When we are in a season of waiting, it often feels like time is being wasted, and we may wonder why we are not progressing as quickly as we would like. The silence of waiting can be unsettling, as we desire movement and progress, yet we seem to be stuck in a holding pattern. However, it is in these very seasons of waiting that the deepest growth takes place. Waiting is not a passive experience. It is an active process of preparation, refinement, and transformation. During the waiting period, we are being shaped in ways that are not always visible on the surface. We may not see the immediate results of our efforts or prayers, but beneath the surface, God is working diligently to build something in us. Waiting is a time when our character is tested and our faith is strengthened. It is easy to maintain faith when everything is going well, but it is in the waiting, when the results are not immediately visible, that our trust in God deepens. We learn to depend on Him more fully, to rely on His timing, and to trust that His plan is greater than our own. In the waiting, we are also being refined. Think of gold being purified in a fire. The impurities rise to the surface and are removed, leaving behind something pure and valuable. Similarly, in the waiting period, God works to remove the things in our lives that are not aligned with His purpose for us. This could be negative habits, wrong mindsets, or unhealthy relationships. Through this process, we become more aligned with His will, more capable of handling the responsibility that will come when the waiting ends. Moreover, waiting teaches us patience and perseverance. These qualities are not developed in moments of instant gratification, but in times of delay when we must push through our doubts and frustrations. As we endure the waiting period, we become more resilient, more equipped to face future challenges. It is not in the rush to the finish line that we gain strength, but in the journey itself, in the lessons we learn along the way. In these times, we are not stagnant. We are not stuck. We are in the process of becoming the person we are meant to be, and this process requires time. Growth takes place in the quiet, in the waiting, and in the unseen moments that shape us into the individuals ready to step into the fullness. Challenges refine you and build the character needed for your purpose. Life is filled with unexpected difficulties and setbacks, and it is easy to become discouraged when facing them. We often wonder why we have to endure such hardships, especially when others seem to breathe through life with ease. However, it is in the midst of these very challenges that our true strength and character are developed. God uses the challenges we face to prepare us for the purpose that lies ahead, refining us in ways we may not immediately recognize. Challenges are the crucibles in which our character is tested and strengthened. It is one thing to talk about faith, but it is another thing to live by faith when everything around us seems to be falling apart. It is in the trials, in the moments of struggle, that our trust in God is deepened. We are forced to rely not on our own strength or understanding, but on the wisdom and provision of God. Through this process, we develop patience, perseverance, and resilience. These are not qualities that can be acquired through comfort or ease, but through adversity. Moreover, challenges serve to refine our hearts and minds. They expose weaknesses that we may not have been aware of and push us to confront areas of our lives that need transformation. In the face of adversity, we may discover areas of insecurity, fear, or doubt that need to be addressed in order for us to grow into the person we are meant to be. It is through overcoming these challenges that we become stronger, wiser, and more grounded in our faith. Without facing adversity, we might not recognize the strength we possess or the depth of our potential. The road to purpose is rarely smooth. Often it is filled with obstacles that seem insurmountable at times. Yet it is through facing these difficulties head on that we are prepared for the greater responsibilities and opportunities that await us. The challenges we face are not meant to break us. They are meant to build us, to shape us into individuals who are capable of handling the blessings and the work that God has for us. When we emerge from these trials, we are more capable, more mature, and more aligned with our purpose. Every setback is a setup for the greatness you are about to step into. In moments of hardship, it is easy to feel as though everything is working against you. It's natural to become frustrated, to question why things are not going according to plan, or to wonder if you'll ever overcome the obstacles in front of you. However, the setbacks you face are not signs of defeat. They are simply steps along the path that lead to something greater. What may seem like a setback in your life is actually God's way of positioning you for the future He has prepared for you. Setbacks often create the space needed for growth. They cause us to pause, reflect, and reassess where we are, pushing us to make adjustments that will better prepare us for what's to come. These challenges force us to confront areas of weakness and refine our skills, character, and mindset. What initially feels like a roadblock can actually be a turning point, a moment when you are redirected to a better path, one that leads to a more fulfilling destiny. Through setbacks, we gain the strength and resilience necessary to pursue our purpose with greater clarity and determination. God has a way of taking what appears to be negative and turning it into something positive. When life doesn't go as planned, it can often feel like a loss. But remember that in God's hands, nothing is ever wasted. Every moment, every hardship, every failure, and every delay is part of the grand design. Setbacks are not permanent obstacles, but temporary detours meant to bring you closer to your destiny. They create space for God to work in ways that we might not understand, but ultimately, they set us up for something better than we initially imagined. In fact, the very nature of a setback suggests that you are being prepared for a new level. It is in the moments of struggle, in the spaces where you feel as though you are being held back, that you are being refined for a greater purpose. You are being stretched beyond your current limitations and prepared to handle the challenges that will come with the success and responsibility awaiting you. Setbacks often serve as the groundwork for the breakthroughs you will experience. They refine your capacity to endure, sharpen your skills, and help you grow into the person who can carry the weight of the blessings that are on their way to you. In conclusion, it's essential to recognize that the delays, setbacks, and challenges we face in life are not hindrances, but divine tools of preparation. They serve a higher purpose, shaping us, refining us, and preparing us for the greatness we are destined to achieve. The moments of waiting, of not understanding why things aren't moving as quickly as we'd like, are often the most crucial times of growth. They are the moments when God is aligning everything in your life, building your character, and fortifying you for what lies ahead. God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own sense of urgency. What may appear to be a delay is simply the perfect moment in God's divine plan. We might not understand the reason for the waiting or the struggle, but God sees the bigger picture. He knows exactly when you're ready to step into the next phase of your life, and He will not bring you into the fullness of your purpose until you are fully equipped to handle it. In these moments, trust is essential. Trust that God's plan for your life is greater than anything you could design on your own, and trust that His timing will always be better than yours. It's important to embrace the challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth, not as roadblocks. Through these experiences, you are being refined, made stronger, and better prepared to embrace your purpose. These challenges are not intended to break you, but to build you into someone who can handle the success and responsibility that God has planned for you. Every challenge you face is a step closer to becoming the person you need to be for the purpose you were created to fulfill. They are God's way of perfecting you for the greatness He's already set in motion. Moreover, the waiting period is where real transformation happens. It is where patience, resilience, and trust are cultivated. Growth doesn't happen in the absence of challenges, but rather through them. It is the very struggles we endure that build the qualities necessary for our success. Without the refining process, we might not have the strength or wisdom needed to thrive in the fullness of our destiny. So while you may feel frustrated or uncertain during seasons of delay, remember that God is preparing you for something greater. These moments are not wasted. They are part of the divine blueprint for your life. Keep your faith strong. Trust in God's perfect timing and understand that every setback is a setup for the greatness you are about to step into. You are not behind schedule. You are right where you need to be, being shaped and prepared for the extraordinary purpose that lies ahead. Your moment is coming, and when it does, you will step into it with strength, wisdom, and confidence, ready to embrace all that God has in store for you.